when you sit with the communion with sacred, when you sit in the communion, when you sit in the communion with sacred as you are right now, that communion with sacred is called meditation, where there remains no abstract identification. That communion, that communion with the sacred is called meditation, where there remains no abstract identification. We would elaborate on it. I want you to have an experience of meditation so peaceful, so calm, and so real. I'm working towards it for you. I'm trying to bring that experience in you, which is your natural state, which is your fundamental state. So help me, sacred. When you sit in the communion with sacred, you have no abstract identifications. You have no gender here. You have no race here. You have no gender here. You have no race here. You have no age here. You have no color here. You don't belong to a society. You don't belong to a culture. You have no gender. I think I specified that. I would go even as far as you have no name, and I would go as far as you are not even human, if you understand. Whatever I have mentioned not long ago, let that resonate through you. You have no abstract identifications here. The question is, who am I? The answer is no abstract identification. Abstract identification is what you have been told, and what your natural or fundamental state is what you are without what you have been told. Does that make sense to you? Um, what your natural or fundamental state is, what you really are, you are going to find out. Once you find out, you are in the meditative state. You see, abstract identification during the meditation, we take off. You see, abstract identifications, as I said, abstract identifications during the meditation, during the communion with sacred, during the communion with divinity, abstract identifications we take off. You see, when we take off the abstract identification, it helps to find us what we really are. It helps to see what we really are. It helps us to feel what really are, not theoretically, not psychologically, not through a thinking process. Because once you are in a state of meditation, thinking process is gone. This is the time for yourself solely. And again, I repeat, when I say this is the time for yourself solely, it means no genders attached. It means no strings attached. It means no name attached, no race attached, no color attached, no patriotic attachments that I belong to a certain society, I belong to a certain country. When you have to function among humans, you can keep that. That's fine. There is nothing wrong with that. You can keep your heritage. But here, while you are sitting in the state of meditation, you know you are, and you are none of that. If you understand, you know you are, and you are none of that. That's the most important thing. That's the most significant thing, that you know you are. Which is more important, that what you are or you are, isn't it? The thing is with that, what you are depends on that you are. If you didn't exist in the very first place, no desire would be risen in you that what you are. The reason, the sole reason the desire is risen in you what you are, is because you are existing in the very first place. During meditation, we zero in. During meditation, we bring our focus and we zoom in, and we zero in, um, to focus on what is this which I am. We try to focus on the phenomena. That's all we do. Phenomena is anything which does not have any abstract identifications. I'm saying it third time. Let that sink in you. Let that resonate through you. It would give you a brilliant experience of meditation. You see the rubber band attached with the mask. The rubber band attached with the mask. Um, Lose the rubber band. You see, when you are by yourself during this meditation, during this communion with sacred, with divinity, you are losing the rubber band. The mask is all the abstract identification. The mask, basically, the mask is all the abstract identification that you have been told once you were growing up, since the day of your birthday, you see. And that is mask. And so, and that mask is basically supported by, the mask is basically supported by on your face with the aid of a rubber band, you see. Once you lose the rubber band, it's easy for you to take the mask off. And that's what we are doing during meditation, at least for some time. Your rubber band must not be too rigid around your face. That's number one. So you understand. So you understand basically that you are without, whether you attach yourself with the abstract concepts, whether you attach yourself with the abstract ideas, the abstract identification and the abstract theories, whether you attach yourself or you don't attach yourself, you are existing either way. Is that a fact or is not a fact? You see, whether you attach yourself or you do not attach yourself, you are existing either way. There was the step number, silent the mind. There was the step number one, to give you a most effective and sound meditation. Sit straight. Make sure your backbone, make sure your spine. Sit straight. Make sure your backbone, make sure your spine is erect, is straight. You understand? As straight as you feel comfortable. You are not punishing your body in this fundamental spiritual practice. If you understand, you are not punishing yourself. You are not punishing also your accumulation. Again, I repeat, you are not, otherwise it would defeat the purpose. Meditation is the fundamental spiritual practice which is here to bring joy and happiness in you. So sit straight as I am sitting with you, with your legs crossed. Make sure that your spine is erect, as comfortable as humanly possible, and it is not giving you any pain. Your waistband, you have, you know, the waistband, whatever you are wearing, must not be too tight. Just make sure that's not, of course, too loose, or it's not overly tight either. You see, and it is a little under your belly button, your waistband. And sit. Rest your hands on your knees and look straight towards a blank wall. On this wall, nothing is written. You are just looking at it. Now, to make it more effective, understand that 72 to 76% of your body is water, and the accumulation basically on this planet Earth, and the accumulation on this planet Earth is supported. Accumulation is the body, accumulation is the human body. Um, and the accumulation on this planet Earth is supported by five elements of nature. Please remember that. I'm sure you know that it is very primary and basic knowledge about ourselves. This is the accumulation. You see, this here, you see, this is the accumulation here. And this accumulation is supported on this planet Earth by five elements which nature brings you as a present: earth, fire, water, space. Earth, sand, or whatever you want to call it, fire, water, space. Guess the fifth one. I'm leaving it's on the top of my head, but guess the fifth one. Now, all of a sudden, when I ask you to guess the fifth one during this meditation, I notice that your attention, your focus is going to guess that, basically. And that is the exactly thing I'm asking you not to do. This is not a guessing game. This is not a thought process. Right now, we are sitting in the meditation. It's not important for you to figure that out right now, which is the fifth element. You see, however, remember, I always tell you to remember the word remember. Remember 72 to 76% of your body is water. Majority of your body, this accumulation is being supported by water. Water washes everything off you. Water cleanses your aura. You know that? The significance, this is all the significance of water, basically. Water basically um, washes over you. Water cleanses your aura. Water washes the filth and dirt from you. And water supports your accumulation. The water element from nature is 72 to 76% in this accumulation. You see. So what you do, you make your relation, basically, you make your relation with life more effective. You bond with the with your accumulation, with your life energy. You would look attractive in other people's eyes if you do some fundamental practices, as I am here today to give you that. One of them is meditation, which is very fundamental. Number two, the different segments or different parts during the meditation. Now, why did I mention the elements of nature which are supporting the accumulation, basically, and why did I mention the water and the advantages of it, that what it does, including cleaning your aura? This water. Without this, we could not survive. You see, so what you do now? You see this water? Have you noticed that how much water I drink during when I am delivering the words of truth and wisdom? Not only during that, but in my regular everyday carnation that I am doing, I'm drinking quite a bit of water because I have bond. I have a very, what we understand, I have a very uh, tight bond with water. And I respect water and I love water. When I look at this bottle and water in the bottle, I know that this is life sitting. I know without this, this cannot be supported. This is the life which is sitting in the bottle. Because if had it not existed in the very first place, this what we understand, this what we understand as accumulation would not exist, because this accumulation is supported by this. So this is the life which is sitting in the bottle. It's not the water. Basically, water is just a marker. The word water or H2O, the word water, the word water or H2O is just a marker. You see, you don't really know what this is. But since we have to function, we both have agreed to the meanings of a word which we say water. So we this actually lights up in our mind every time. Every time we say water, this lights up in our mind. It's just a marker. Truth of the matter is, no word in any reality has any meanings, including this. We don't know. Truth of the matter is, we don't know what's sitting. But whatever is sitting is supporting our life, and 72 to 76% of our body, according to major surveys, is water. So we right now we look at water during the meditation as we are sitting straight. You see, our legs are crossed, our spine, our backbone is erect but comfortable, and we are looking at the water. While we are looking at the water, we are also consciously um, while we are looking at the water, we are also consciously paying focus gently, not be overwhelmed or not be obsessed while we are sitting and our legs crossed in the meditative position. We basically are looking at the water and gently we are becoming more and more aware of our breathing, and we are saying, this is my life sitting in this bottle. I love you, whatever you are. Consciously, we are not verbalizing it, if you understand the difference. Basically, we are not verbalizing through our lips. You see, lips, these are lips. We are not verbalizing through our, we are not verbalizing through our lips. We are not doing that. We are sitting silently and we are consciously aware of our breathing pattern. Life is going in, life is going out. We are looking at the water and we are consciously, silently, not verbalizing, but silently, we are giving our gratitude to this life or this element of nature. And we are saying, I love you. And we are saying, thank you for being there for me. You see, we don't pay attention to small things, but when we do consciously, when we pay attention to the small things consciously, basically, you have no idea the benefits of these things, because we are so overwhelmed and we are so fascinated with the we are so overwhelmed and we are so fascinated with the objects around us, you see, or on us, or the beings around us, or we are overwhelmed and fascinated by our own thoughts. If you understand, that's why we don't have focus to pay attention to the small things that are happening around us all the time. We take it as granted and we think it's generic, but it is not generic. Imagine this basically was not available to us and we were in a desert for miles and miles, basically not a single drop of it. desert. We were in a desert for miles and miles. There was not a single drop of water. I'm trying to make you understand through your own imagination. Imagine then the significance of this water. I'm saying hypothetically, the significance of this water. You see, now this is available, so we do not pay enough focus to the most fundamental thing which is supporting our accumulation on this Mother Earth. After some time, drink some water of that. It has the good memory. What water has memory, everything in creation has some type of memory. This water basically also have memory. Everything in creation has some type of memory. So does the water. It's alive basically. It is given birth. You understand? It is given birth by life. So this water is alive. Now it has the good memory. Whatever you transmitted while you were looking at it, you form a bond. You were banded. You see, you were banded with the water. You formed a bond. Demon or devil usually manifests itself in form of a thought. You see, a useless thought, which is not taking you anywhere. Please understand what I'm saying. Demon and devil. I mean, in religious circle, that it is portrayed in form of that it has big horns or some type of ugly facial features or an ugly accumulation in fiction, in books, in horror movies, in religions. It's all the same anyway. It portrays demon and devil like that, but demon and devil cannot be seen, but it has a little upper hand on that it not on you. Remember something, because your fundamental state and your fundamental nature is sacred. You see, even demon and devil wants to be a rebellion. It wants to accomplish its own identity, but it's not out of the reach of sacred. Sacred always has upper hand, and divinity and sacred is your fundamental state. So do not underestimate yourself that you are helpless in front of it. It wants to accomplish its own identity. It usually manifests, it has no physical feature in this moment in time. Remember, pay attention to my words, to what I'm saying to you. But it has more liberty to move around. It has more liberty to read your mind, which you wrap around you. You see, if you take a rubber band, again, rubber band, if you take a rubber band and you wrap it around your finger, basically, if you take a rubber band and you wrap it around your finger, you would understand that's how you wrap your mind around. Imagine you yourself is the finger and your mind is the rubber band in this metaphor. That's how you wrap the mind around you all the time. That cannot be seen. But the one which has no physicality, the one which can move freely, if you understand, the one which has no physicality, the one which can move freely. You see, it doesn't mean that you are helpless or it has upper hand on you. It's just right now in this moment in time you have physicality, and you are wrapping your mind around you just like that rubber band I mentioned. So that mind cannot be seen if you have physicality until unless you rise your energy through Kriya Yoga and Kriya meditation and Raja meditation. Then you can see that these things, because you become more sensitive and you become more alert. I can see these things. I even can see that how it can manifest in form of a thought from somebody else who also has physicality. I can even see that, you see. So what happens is basically, while it has no physicality, it can move freely, and it can see your thoughts, and it can see your weaknesses, and it can see your thoughts, and it can see that what are you perplexed about, or what are you scared of, or what you don't want to happen. Then it would create a thought, and it would penetrate. That's the word I'm looking for in English. It would penetrate that useless thought in you to keep you occupied. You see, it's demented. It would penetrate a useless thought to scare you. And when you when you are led by that helpless, foolish thought, it gets thrill, it gets joy out of it. It dances. You see, it gets. And so, do not let it dance. Do not give it the luxury of happiness, because it does not deserve happiness. It's a parasite. You see, it does not deserve happiness. The only being which deserves happiness is the secret. The only being which deserves happiness is the divinity. You see, and that is the only being. You see, even this demon is not out of the reach of secret, but it wants to accomplish its own identity. It does not like unity, you see, and that's the reason it has taken its own identification, what we understand as devil or demon. Once you meditate every day, as I am telling you, now, do not do this. I am rocking back and forth. I am bending a little. Have you heard the term bend? I am bending a little, and I am leaning forward, and I am going back and forth. Do not do that, because I have accomplished myself numerous years back in the state of meditation. It is my life. It is not something that I do to pass my time. It is not something that I do as a hobby or anything like that. Kriya Yoga and Kriya meditation is my life. You see, so I have instilled, and I have instilled my very self. I have instilled my very self in meditation. I have gained, if you understand, I have gained a certain type of control over my thoughts and over my mind. I have gained that control. So I am, what the word I'm looking for, I am immune to these negative thoughts. You see, as soon as demon or devil tries to penetrate a useless thought in me, I have a layer of protection around me, which bars it and stops it to get the thought penetrated in my mind. You see, that's what we understand, the control on mind. If you don't meditate every day, if you do not focus on the divinity in you or sacred, you are more vulnerable to these type of culprits, if you understand. So make meditation a regular spiritual practice in your life. Sit straight. Do not rock back and forth as I am doing. I'm repeating, do not do what I am doing. I'm rocking back and forth. And the reason I'm rocking back and forth, because I have instilled myself on a certain level of control in meditation. For you, if you are a beginner, or if you are just starting, or if you or not even if you are a beginner or you are just starting, but you still yet to achieve basically the kind of state of the being in meditation, which is rather a firm and concrete state in meditation. You still don't want to go back and forth. So when you sit basically straight, you don't want to go back and forth. You sit straight, your legs are crossed. Do this spiritual practice every day, people. I keep stressing on you. There is no result except doing practical. There is no result without practical, people. Please do not be vulnerable to negative entities. Do not be vulnerable towards these negative entities. Do not show your weakness. Do not gain strength from sacred and divinity through the meditation. You see, let's do that. Today, I do not have no private meditation sessions so far. So let's start this. At least we can instill the divinity and sacred for a few minutes in us. I mean, I've been doing it for the last couple of hours. I just decided to make meditation easier for you by giving you some tools, which is the purpose of my life. Om.